Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is YAHMAD. So in this video we're going to be looking at paper 3 from the ICT IGCSE course. We are doing a May-June 2021 paper, variant 32. So paper 3 is a practical paper which includes data analysis, which is spreadsheets, and a website authoring part, which is the HTML and CSS. So in this video we're going to be focusing on the website part of the paper. So let's go down. I think if you check out the previous videos, I have completed the spreadsheet part of this paper already. So the first thing we need to do is check to see if we have the right files for this paper. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we should have a combination of JPEG files, CSS files, and some CSV files, obviously for the spreadsheet part. So let me just check. Did I count 11? Let me double check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. And let me check the first couple of files. So banner and camera.csv. Banner and camera. Yes, we got the right files. Also, there's a text file in there which you can see is here as well. Great. Okay, so to get started, what we need to do is we need to create an evidence document. So what we can do is we can just right click and create a new Word document, and we need to include your name, center number and candidate number on every page, so we can put this in the header. We then need to save the evidence document into your work area, followed by a center number, candidate number. So it will be saved like this with this file name. So file name, center number and candidate number. So let me just copy this and rename this Word document with the details. So for center number I will use 5678, and for that's my center number, and then for candidate number I will use 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you will need your evidence document during the examination to place screenshots when required. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the evidence document, and I'm going to insert my name in the header and obviously my other candidate details. So let me try doing that again. Let's open up the evidence document. Continue. Okay, here we go. I don't know why my computer's lagging these days. Probably a sign I need to get myself a new computer, so not now. Okay, so here's the evidence document. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Insert, Header, and I'm going to include my details. So I always go with the option that gives me 3 columns. So let me type in my name, center number 5678, candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to set up this evidence document. So evidence, whoops, 1, and I'm just going to copy and paste this a few times so the evidence document is ready to take some screenshots. At some point we will have to copy and paste the HTML code as well. Okay, I'll do a couple more, and then if I have to delete them at the end I will do. Okay, so evidence document is ready. We will be coming back to this at some point. Right, let's go back to the paper. Okay, task 2, image editing and file management. So what we need to do is to create a new folder called UMP. So let's go to the source folder, create a new folder, UMP, and then in this folder we need to locate the following files and store them into your UMP folder. So let's start the first 2 JPEGs, banner.jpg and diver.jpg. So these two here, so we can select them and we can move. I'm just pressing Control to select multiple files on my keyboard. The text and the CSS. So the text and the CSS we can move. Let's move now the 4 JPEG files. Let's move them into this folder here. So in this folder we have all of these files. I'm going to change this to details. Okay, done. Right, what we need to do now is open up the picture ending in diver.jpg in a graphics package. So the software I'm going to be using is paint.net. It's a free software which can be downloaded. Okay. So what do we need to do? I'm not going to update this, let's leave it as it is. You can use any graphic editing application at this point, guys. It's up to you. I stick with paint.net because obviously it allows me to do the basic tasks required from these exam papers. So what we need to do is open a file and j2132 diver.jpg in a graphics package. Crop the image so that all of the diver is visible, and it is 1600 pixels wide by 3000 pixels high. Okay, so let's first of all open up this picture. Let me go to documents and go to the right folder. So 2021, paper 3, S32, UMP folder, and we find the diver picture. Okay, what do we need to do? Crop the image so that all of the diver is visible. Okay, 1600 pixels wide and 3000 pixels high. So we need to maintain a height. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just highlight the picture like this. Okay, so the height I can see was about 3000. I was looking down here at the bottom and it went to about 3000 when I made the selection. Now to crop this image, I go to image and then crop to selection. Okay, and then I'm going to go to image, resize. Just let me double check the size of the image. You can see I was very close with the height. So it's meant to be 1600 pixels wide and 3000 pixels high. So what I'm going to do, you can see I can still crop off a little bit more. Okay, for the next question 3, place in cell some pictures. Okay, so let me double check where we're going to be placing pictures. So in cell A, B, C, D. So A, B, C, and D. So we're going to insert pictures here. Okay. D is a picture that we created in step 1 of the diver, and then G and H. Okay, so these two cells as well. So we're going to be inserting pictures. So when we do insert pictures, just want to double check. Sometimes it does ask us to include alternative text, but it's not. I can't see it now. The questioner may be asked a few questions later regarding that, but I don't see it in this paper. I think I will insert the alternative text anyway, because this is a normal thing that we have to do. Okay, so let's go ahead. In cell A, which is the top cell, we're going to insert this picture ending in banner. So what we do is we click in the cell here. We can either click on this icon, or we can go to insert picture from file. Let's go into the right folder, S32, UMP, and here's the banner JPEG. and I'm just going to write banner. So what is the alternative text? This is basically displayed if the picture does not come, is not displayed in your browser. It's very typical you are asked to do this in other exam papers, so I'm just going to do it now anyway. And you can see the picture is on a big size. On a big side. Let me just have a look at this picture in the browser. See how it appears in the browser. It doesn't even fit within the table. You can see it's not fitting in the table. So what we have to do now is go back to, let's have a look at question 4, because what we do here will impact what we're doing here. So place an inline style attribute into the HTML so that each image fits the width of the table cell with its aspect ratio maintained. So what we need to do here is we need to go to the code now. So here's the image tag here, guys. It starts here and then closes here, okay? And it's within a TD cell, so within a cell. So what we need to do, we need to make this picture fit. So here's the alternative text, here's the height of the image, here's the image source, and here's how wide it is right now. So what we can do is, I'm just going to do it here actually, just after the IMG. We have to type in style, and click here, and then select the width, and then 100%. Okay, so if I press save, and then if I go to the browser, what should happen is the picture now fits within that table, and then if I resize this like this, you can see it changes the picture. So let me try cropping up a little bit more of the picture. Image, crop the selection, and then if I go to image resize, I'm almost there with how wide, you know, the selection needs to be. Let's crop off just slightly more of the picture. Image, crop to selection, image resize. Yeah, so that's pretty much as close as I'm going to get. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to resize this so it meets the requirements of the question. So 1600 pixels wide and 3000 pixels high. Press OK. Yep, so we've met the criteria now. We are showing to crop the image so the diver is visible, which we've done. We need to save this image into the UMP folder in a PNG format using the file name diver_candidate number. So for example, diver, I will use 1234. So if I go to file, save as, not as a JPEG, as a PNG, and let me just type in the name. So I sent a number, candidate number is 1234. Is it a candidate number? Yes it is. Save. Just press OK. Okay, so the dive is fully visible. Their dimensions are set as well. You could have used the ruler, I suppose, as well, but I think it's fine as long as you get there at the end. Right, what we need to do now is display the contents of your UMP folder showing a folder name, all the file names, file extensions, image dimensions, file sizes. So let me go back to here. Here's the new picture. So what do we have so far? We are showing the folder name up here. Okay, the file name is there. The file extension, yeah, .png. Image dimensions and file sizes. So the file size is here, but what we need to do, let's get rid of tags, is we need to include image dimensions. It should show, yep, 1600 by 3000. What we need to do is, I think now we need to take evidence. Yes, we do. So guys, for the evidence I'm going to use a snipping tool. It's up to you what you prefer to use. I think I like using the snipping tool now. Before I used to use the print screen, but I'm guessing the snipping tool is probably the easiest one now. So for evidence 1, take a screenshot of your UMP folder and place this into your evidence document. Make sure that the folder name, all file names, file extensions, image dimensions and file sizes are clearly visible. Okay, so let me go ahead and take a screenshot. So here's the folder. This is where it's saved. File names with the extensions, the type, file size and dimensions. So we can go ahead and copy. So this is a new file that we created, diver underscore your candidate number.png. We can save that into your first evidence. And we are done. Save. Okay, so now task 3, web page. So you are going to create a web page and Stylesheet to show examples of underwater macro photography. The web page and Stylesheet must work in any browser. All color codes except those provided in the source files must be in hexadecimal. Make sure that your Stylesheet contains no HTML. Make your HTML and Stylesheet as efficient as possible. Okay, so the software I'm going to be using is Expression Web 4, so it's a free software. Okay, let me just get this file started. So what we need to create is a new web page. Okay, so let's just close down this. We can click on File, New HTML, File, Save As. Let's go to that UMP folder. So we need to create a new web page called UMP. Okay, so let me just copy that name into the UMP folder. Okay, this web page must be created using a single table and must work in all browsers. The table must fit 90% of the browser window. The table must have a structure as shown in this diagram. Okay. Each table is identified with a letter. Some dimensions are shown. These must be set as percentage values and not in pixels. The cell contents shown in the diagram must not appear in your final web page. Table borders must not appear in your final web page. So this is something I'm going to have to come back to at some point later on. Okay, let me go ahead and explain what is meant by 90% of the browser window. So the table must fit 90% of the browser window. So what does that mean? So first of all, this is the HTML view, guys. You can use the split view or the design view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create just a random table now. I'm not going to follow the exam paper for now, just a random table. In percent, we can use pixels, but in percent, this table is going to fit 90% of the browser. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color in this table, table properties, the background color, just color it in for now, because now if I go to the okay, then if I select Chrome, let's see what happens in the browser view. So here's the table, and you can see it fits 90% of the browser. If I just resize the size of my window, you can see the table resizes to fit 90% of the browser window. So that's what that means basically. So the table will fit 90% of the browser window. Okay, let me delete this table now. Just check the code. Yeah, there's nothing in between the body tags now. We deleted it. So let's go ahead and create this table. So to create the table, we need to identify how many rows and columns we have in this table. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows, and it looks like we've got 3 columns, and some cells and rows are going to be merged. Okay, so 3 columns, 6 rows. So if I go to insert, table, insert table, 6 rows, 3 columns, and the table is going to fit 90% of the browser window. So in percent, the table will be 90% wide. Okay, so that's done. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge the cells. So the top row, actually before I merge the cells, let me show you the code. So TR refers to the table row, and in each row right now we have 3 columns, so 3 cells. Okay, so this is the first cell, the second cell, and the third cell. So what I'm highlighting now refers to this row here. Okay, obviously this is before I've merged anything. So you can see right now 3 cells, TD, TD, TD. What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to merge the top row into one. So if I highlight the cells, go to merge cells, and then if I go to the code, you can see now we have only one TD, basically one cell, which spans across 3 columns. So that's what this means now. This cell here spans 3 columns. Okay. Now this cell here is going to span across 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Okay, so if we go back to design view, so this cell here is going to span across 4 rows. So if I right click, go to modify, merge cells, and if you click on this, you can see from the second row, guys, yep, the second row, the third cell now spans across 4 rows. So it's taking a cell out from here, a cell out from here, and a cell out from here. Okay, so you can see there's only 2 cells in the next set of rows until you get to the final row, which still contains 3 cells, so 1, 2, and 3. And if you look at here, the bottom row needs to be merged across. Whoopsie daisy. Let me highlight the cells. So this is going to be spanning across 3 columns. The col span will be 3. So modify and merge cells. Let's have a look. Yeah, so col span for the bottom row is 3. For the top row is 3 because it's merged across 3 columns. And this cell here has been merged across 4 rows, okay, including this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's done. Let me save the changes. Okay, and I think it's now time to put in the sizes in percentages. Okay, so make sure we're not doing it in pixels, we need to do it in percentages. Okay, so the height of the first cell, so if you right click, you go to cell properties, it's going to be 15%. So in percent, you can type in 15, apply, done. You may not see any changes here, but obviously you can see in the code it has changed. Okay, so it's fine for now. Okay, these 2 cells, guys, B and C, looks like it has the same dimensions, so 30 by 20. Okay, it looks like the same height as well. So let me do these both together. So right click, cell properties, in percent. Okay, it's 30% wide. And the height is 20%. Apply. Okay, for this cell here, guys, it's 40% wide. And if you want to work out the height, you can do so. If you add up all of these cells, that's 20, 30, 50, 60% should be the height as well. So what we can do is right click, cell properties, so it's 40% wide, then the height we calculated was 60. Let me just check the code. All of the dimensions are in percentages. Yes. So what we've done so far, let me just highlight what we've done so far. So we've done this, we've done this one, and we've done this one. So if you look at the first dimension, 30 plus 30 is 60, plus 40 is 100%, okay, which is fine. Okay, so we've got the height in these two cells, but you can see it's going to be the same width as the cells above. So 30%, 30%, and the height will be 10%. So let's do E and F. So these two cells here. So the third row, height is 10%. So cell properties, height is 10%. And how wide are the cells again? 30%, just like the ones above. Click and apply, done. So we've done these ones now. Oops, let me just do it one at a time. So we've done that one, done that one. Right, the next one, the height is 20% and it's going to be the same width for 30%. So let me highlight these cells here, right click, cell properties, still 30% wide, but this time the height in percentage is 20%. Let me double check. Yes, it is. So done. Okay, the second to last row, the height is going to be 10% and still the same width. Okay, so let's highlight these cells. Okay, so still 30% wide, and the height is going to be 10%. Done. Okay, and finally, the height of this cell is going to be 25%. So if I right click, cell properties, height of this cell is going to be 25%. No need to put percent in. And I suppose you can put in, it's going to be 100% wide. And if you wanted to, do the same for the top cell. Okay, that's fine. Because if you go back to the question paper and you add up all of these 30 plus 30 plus 40, it equals 100% going across anyway. So you can put in that dimension as well. So if you go to the code view, we can see all of the dimensions have been included, and this is fine. Save the changes. And we have done this section. So guys, it's really important you take your time to get the right dimensions and sizes within your table. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and put in the next set of pictures. So the first one is done. And remember, for each picture, let me just change that back to yellow. We need to place inline style attributes into the HTML so that each image fits the width of the table cell with its aspect ratio maintained. Okay, so in B, let's insert the picture ending in UMP1. So B, C, and D are going to be these cells here. So this is the second row. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the code. So this is the first row, and we've already inserted a picture. The second row, this is the first cell here, so I'm going to delete this piece of code in between these little tags here. So this is B, this is C, and then this is a cell which spans across many rows. So in this cell here we need to insert the next picture, so we go to insert picture from file, and let me just make it a little bit bigger and see what these pictures are. So UMP1, I'm not sure what this is meant to be, so I'm just going to put UMP1 for the alt text. Okay, I'm just going to press backspace so we can put this picture back here, and I'm going to copy and paste this style attribute to all of the pictures I insert, just after the image tags, or in the image tag somewhere, it could be anywhere. Okay, so we've inserted the picture here. Now we're going to insert the picture in the second row in a second cell. So second row, second cell, so in here, so insert picture from file, it should be ended in UMP2, so let me just highlight this, UMP2, press backspace. This is more just to make it look a bit neater, I suppose, and then let me include that attribute. Okay, and then finally in cell D, the diver image, so it's got to be the PNG version, okay, with your candidate number 1 as well. So insert picture from file, yep, this is the one, diver, okay, so that's that done. Actually no, I've got a few more pictures to go. So G is which cell now, or which row? So G is in 1, 2, 3, the 4th row. So G and H is in the 4th row. So let's go back to the code. So this is the first row, this is the second row, third, and then 4th. So this is G, and the one below it's H. So it's really important, guys, you do get familiar with the code. So TR is the table row, and then these TDs are the cells within each row. So in G it's going to be the image ended in UMP3. So insert picture from file, UMP3. If anyone knows what these things are, then are they like types of coral? I don't know. Okay, and then in H, the picture ended in 4. Insert picture from file, UMP4. Okay, and let me include this code here again for all the pictures. So we've done it here, and we need to also do it here with inside of the image tag. Save changes, and let's see what we have. Okay, so we've got some pictures. Yeah, it looks good to me so far. Okay, we've got the pictures which fit within the cells, and if I just make this a bit smaller, yeah, you can see if I resize the browser, the pictures are fitting within the cells. Aspect ratio looks like to be maintained, do not getting squashed. Done. Now what we're going to do, we're going to be adding some text, okay, in these cells here. So E, F, I, and J. and all of them are going to have the H1 style applied to this text. Okay, so in E is the third row, E and F is it? Yep, so we need to add sponge, and I'm not sure you pronounce this, to these cells here, so nudie branch. So E and F are in which row? So 1, 2, 3, the third row. So that's the first row. This is the second row. This is the third row. And we need to add the text here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, create a text style. So H1, double click, and let me close the bracket. And you can see we've got an opening bracket and a closing bracket. We know it's a closing bracket because it's got a backward slash. And what I'm going to do is also copy this into here, because we're going to be inserting this text here. Sponge, and nerdy branch, if I'm saying it right. And we have some more text that we need to insert. So in I and J, let me see which row I and J are in. I and J is in the fifth row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I and J is going to be this row here. So remember, this is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. We know the row starts with TR and then closes with a backward slash. And again, let's create the H1 tag for the text. It's going to be heading 1 style. We can open up the H1, and then when we click on this, let me just close the bracket. You see automatically the closing tag is created for H1. Okay, so let's put this in. Done. Okay, and let's go to the browser, have a quick look in the browser and see what we have so far. We have the pictures, we have some text. Yeah, that's fine. Great. Okay, looking good. Save the changes. Okay, in cell K, is K the last row? Yeah, in cell K, what we need to do is we need to add the contents of this text file. So let me highlight all of this, copy it. So place in cell K the contents of the file j2132text.txt, and display this text as 3 paragraphs. Add as a 4th paragraph the text. Okay, so we've got 3 paragraphs. I'll come back to this, I think. Apply the H2 to all of the text in K. So what I'm going to do is, let's create the H2 style first of all. So you can see the tag is opening here and closing here with a backward slash. And let's copy and paste the text in. Okay. And what I want to see, guys, is how is this text appearing now? Is it just appearing in one block? Okay, so what we need to do is create 3 paragraphs, okay? Okay, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go back a few steps. Let me delete what I've copied and pasted in. Because I want 3 or 4 paragraphs in the end, I'm just going to do this instead. So I'm just going to put a bit of space for myself. It doesn't really make any difference, guys, the space. It's just more for my you know, just to see the different lines like this. So if I added a space like this, it doesn't really change the code. So what I'm going to do is, to create different paragraphs, I'm going to have 4 of these heading styles, and they will all start on a new line. Okay, and then in each part I'm going to copy in some text. Okay, so if I go to here, let's copy in the first part. Okay, so maybe we'll just do one line. The first line is the first paragraph. Copy. Okay, is that in the H2 tag? Yes, it is. The next line is the second paragraph. We can copy this. The third line is just highlight all of this code. It's the third paragraph. And then the fourth paragraph is going to be, so display this text as 3 paragraphs. We've done that now. So each line from the document was a paragraph. Add a fourth paragraph. The text is going to be the web page last edited by, and then your name, center number, and candidate number, and apply H2 to all the text which we've done. Okay. So, and let's include my name, comma, center number, so 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the candidate number 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me save the changes and see what we've done. Yep, you can see the first paragraph, the second paragraph, the third, and the fourth. Fantastic. Okay, question 7. We need to attach the style sheet ending in ump.css to the web page. The style sheet should give some formatting to the web page. So if I go back to design, you need to get the manage styles panel. So you can go to panels, manage styles, and then attach the style sheet, browse. And it's going to be, if you go to your folder, it should be this one here. Yeah, UMP. Okay. And let's see what we have so far. So I think the next set of questions we are going to be editing the style sheet. So at least we have some borders, but I think the borders we will have to take off according to what was said here in a question paper. So yeah, so remember, table borders must not appear. Okay, so we're now going to be moving on to the style sheet part. Okay, now for question 8, we need to open and edit the style sheet J213 to ump.css to meet the following specifications. So let's go ahead and open up the style sheet. So we can go to File and Open. It's basically the same one that's been attached. Okay, let's have a look at the code. Okay, so center align all tables within the browser window. So what we need to do is we need to go to Table. We need to go to Modify Style. And we go to Box. And to center align the tables, we need to change the margins right and left to Auto. Apply. And done. You can see the code is being added here. Okay, so that's the first thing done. Set the background for the web page so it has the color of. Do we have a body tag? No, so we need to create a new body tag which formats the background. So if I type in body, background, and what I'm going to do is just select black for now, and then we can change these values. So set the background for the web page so that it has a color with a, remember it's RGB, so red goes first. So the red component is going to be 6F. So 6 F for the red component. Okay, the green component, which is the second component, is EA. So we delete the middle two and add EA. So 6F, EA, and then the blue component is D6. Okay, and it's given us this sort of turquoise colour. Apply, done. Okay, set the font for styles H1 and H2 so the browser selects and displays the font Domino Regular. If this font is not available, the browser selects and displays the font Domino. If neither of these fonts are available, the browser should display its default serif font. Okay, so these two styles have the same font style, so we can do them both together. And then I think we can set the individual attributes later as well. So what we need to do is create a new style. So H1 and H2, comma, H2, both have the same font attributes. So this is the first font that the browser will look for if it's available. So we can put it in font family. We copy that again. It's not copying the second part. Domino. Just type it in. And if that's not available, let's search for the second font style. So the second font style is just Domino. Comma, and if that's not available, then we go for the default serif font. Okay. Apply, and you can see we're using the most efficient methods here. Both H1 and H2 have been done together, and they have the same font styles. Now we need to create a separate style for H1 and for H2 because there's some different characteristics between the styles. So let's go for H1 first. So new style. And what do we need to do? So the text is center aligned and 24-point font. So font size is 24 points. And let me double check. Yeah. And text is center aligned. So if you go to block, text align, center. Done. And for H2, text is fully justified, 16-point font. So we need to create a separate style, H2. Size is 16 points. And it's justified. So text align and justify. So we could have had a font family in here and here, but then obviously that code would be duplicated. So this is the most efficient way of doing this. Okay, add your name, center number, candidate number as a comment at the start of the style sheet. Okay, so if I click on slash or type in slash star, type in my name, so you can see everything's turned to green. That's my name first of all. Center number we can use 5, 6, 7, 8, and then candidate number we can use 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the comment, so star and slash, and you can see the code has appeared back in its normal colours. So when you save this style sheet into your folder, and before I take a screenshot guys, I've not forgotten the borders on the table, so we need to make sure both external borders and internal borders are not appearing on the final web page. So this is the external border, so in table we have the external border, so we're going to change this to 0. Okay, and in TD we have the internal borders, so we're going to change the size again to 0. Let me save this now, and let's go to the web page and see if the changes have been incorporated. Yep, background's done. The textiles look like they've been formatted. This is justified now, and there's no borders showing. Yep, looks good to me. So what do we need to do now? So take a screenshot to show the file name and all of the contents of your style sheet. So what you need to print screen now is this. So you can see the file name, your name, and then a code. So this is evidence 2. Paste it in. Okay, that's nice and clear. If you want, you can resize it to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, that's done for evidence 2. Okay, for evidence 3, we need to display the page in the browser. We need to make sure all the page can be seen, all the text can be read, and the address bar is visible. So we can take multiple screenshots if we have to. So basically, if we go to the browser now, let me see if we zoom out. Just going to see if I can resize it so we can get all of this page showing in one screenshot. I might have to take a couple of screenshots then. Okay, no problem. So that's the first screenshot. Okay, and let me take second screenshot. Showing we have text at the bottom. Okay. So obviously, I've had to zoom out a little bit to show all of the text, so it looks a little bit smaller. Okay, there we go. And for the most important piece of evidence, display the HTML source in your editor and take a copy of the HTML source and place this into your evidence document. So this is basically, if you go to your web page and your code, we need to copy all of this code into your evidence document, starting from the top line, going all the way down. So in this code, you'll see evidence. We've attached the style sheet. Okay, the evidence, the table's been set up with the right dimensions. The images have been imported with alternative text. The styles have been changed, so the images are 100% to the size of the cells. You can see we've got some text which have been applied as well to H1 or to H2. So let me copy all of this code and let me paste it into the evidence document. Okay, and let me save the changes and we are good to go. You can print this off. Okay, doesn't need printing yet. Yeah, so after we've taken this copy, is there anything else we need to do? Yes, task 4 is printing. Okay, so when you do print off your evidence document, just have a look at each page just to make sure your details are appearing on each page, and you can see the details are at the top. So here's the first print screen showing a folder with all of the files, the CSS, the first print screen from the browser, the second print screen from the browser showing the text at the bottom, and then all of the HTML code. Okay, the mistake some people make, and to this day I still don't understand, when it asks for the HTML they copy this, maybe because to see HTML here at the end. This is not going to get you any marks, guys. The HTML code is all of this. Right, we've come to the end of this video. Please like and share, drop your comments below. If you have exams coming up soon, good luck in your exams. Okay guys, take care. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.